We will definitely not shut up and dribble.
I'm going to continue to stand with the people.
The champ is here. I will not lose.
Yes, welcome. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with we. My name is EJ, and I got my man.
MH.
Yes, he is the DB of the show, and we are Black in Sports, giving a voice to the culture that won't shut up and dribble. Here, man, you know, when you see that man down in that lower thirds, we're going to talk a little NBA, man. We got Brannan here from the Rubric, and we're going to talk a little bit NBA, man, with the NBA season, you know, kicking off. A lot of different changes and movements, and you know, so you know, a lot of excitement coming into this NBA season. So we definitely want to welcome you, B. And man, like we'll let you take it here, man. Like I guess, if there was one exciting thing you had to pick, and I know I'm putting you a little bit on the line, on the hook here. If there was one exciting thing that you want to say that you're looking forward to for this NBA season, what would it be?
The play-in tournament for sure. The in-season tournament. Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely.
Surprised to hear you. Okay.
Absolutely. Coming from, I love basketball so much. I hate being in a city that doesn't have basketball. And Las Vegas is about to get the first official regular season NBA game played in Las Vegas. It's a big deal. It's going to be a big deal. So, with 2 or 3 games. So I'm looking forward to it. Then number 2, I'd probably say Milwaukee Bucks. I'm a Damian Lillard fan for sure.
So you touched on a lot of stuff that we probably gonna dig deeper into, man. So MH looks like he's ready to pull that trigger, man. So I'm gonna let him jump out first.
No, I would agree with you. I'm surprised by the gold medal list and your things that you're looking forward to with the in-season tournament. But it is cool. Did you see the court designs that they
absolutely
for every team?
Man, those things are funky. Those things are funky. Yeah, I like them. And what it does, man, I think the big thing is the first 4 games that they play throughout the in-season tournament, regular season games, you already know who those teams are. The next series, the knockout rounds, is still part of the 82-game regular season. But those are going to be essentially like flex games. You don't know who those teams are, and you're going to get great basketball for those next series of games versus getting 2 bottom-of-the-barrel teams for prime time. You're like, man, I got to waste 3 hours watching this
boo-boo
trash out there. Like, man, that's why I like you're going to have more high-quality basketball as a fan coming through the season.
And that's the overall push, right? That's why this was created. That's the hope, right? So if this goes successfully, that's what we're supposed to get, right?
That's right. That's right.
What is the prize, right? Like, so I'm an in-season, I turn, like, what is it? Do we know? Like, is it a little small ass trophy like they be trying to play the WNBA systems, or like
extra loot? I think they get some extra loot. There's a trophy for it. They even have a campaign, a Las Vegas campaign with it. I don't know if you saw the commercial. It's like Ocean's 11, where all the like scheming and then they're trying to get the trophy. Yeah, so they'll get that. Some extra loot, of course, but more so it's for the fans and for TV. That's primarily what it's for. That coupled with the player participation that's going to be a big deal. That player participation rule will be a big impact to top stars in the NBA.
So do you think they're going to continue to push that to be part of the narrative, to where it's because, you know, it's old school versus new school, and, you know, like you get Charles Barkley chucking in talking about, you know, what are you talking about? You're supposed to, this is your profession. You're supposed to play. We played 82 games, and, you know, then the young bucks talking about, well, y'all played against, you know, people that were just off the unemployment line, and, you know, and you know, was a part of the UPS playing, you know, so playing like against a different caliber of people, speed of the game. But do you think it's going to go as far as to where the NBA starts punishing people, you know, for this?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the big thing is right now you're looking at a TV contract that's been pretty consistent across your big 3, 24, $25 billion. When these guys start paying $75 to $100 billion, oh yeah, and you're not showing up at games, oh yeah, they're going to start penalizing for sure. They're already doing that with the awards, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, all of those types of It's already
have to be in so many games for you to be kind of, or some of the ballot holders are kind of starting to use that as a criteria.
Yeah,
So, but didn't the CBA agree to this
that's
stuff?
right. They sure
So,
did.
so
Yeah,
now the CBA is going to have to be kind of more. That's probably going to be one of those like talking points. It's going to have probably a little more emphasis moving forward.
that's right. That's correct. That's correct. They definitely gonna be on the hot seat. And bro, these players, nobody like when you talked about Charles and all of them, no player wants to be Charles like that. They want to win championships. They will do anything in their capability to fucking win a game, to win a chip, for sure.
So speaking about championships, I know we mentioned the trophy, and I think they get a couple extra dollars. They raising up banners for the E-season tournament.
That's a great question. And do their names get put on the trophy like each year? Like who gets them? I'm like, hey, they won the first.
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know.
put that in the suggestion box, MH.
Yeah, they keep it at like the trophy case inside the athletic building.
Yep.
And then you got to bring it to the next in-season tournament, and then if you lose, and it's like a rivalry game, kind of like what they call, the wagon in college football or whatever.
The apple card and the mud bowl and all of those bullshit.
The plate. I mean, here in Vegas, one of the high school things is the cleat game. They get to just pass around that. So,
right.
Yeah,
it'll be a thing for younger stars. I think that's what it'll turn into because it's so early in the season. Right. You got to remember these vets at this age. You're not creating no policy that's going to make them play and risk getting into the playoffs, being healthy in the playoffs. LeBron ain't doing nothing to jeopardize that. If he's like, yo, I got to play 50 games, I'm not going to get no MVP award. I have to cash that in to go to deep into the playoffs. He'll do it 10 days a week.
So you said stars, man. So that makes me, I'm going to jump to this because I know we're going to get to that, right? So I want to talk about the stars that were supposed to be, man. Are we going to see a resurgence of those? And I'm going to give you a couple names like Ja Morant, right? Like he's starting the season with like 6 games or whatever. Hopefully he's, got his gun permit and all of that stuff in check. But what about Ja, right? And then Zion, right? Like it looks like, he's coming out in rare form, is doing a little, the preseason hype starting. Just for my man MH, I love the brother. We throw Ben Simmons, right? Like, him supposed to be like a future of the league kind of star and things like that. Where do you think they're going to be this year? And do they have something to prove when you have someone like Wemby coming in? So that's that kind of 2-part question about where you feel about them stars.
Those specific players, I definitely believe you're going to see a resurgence of. I don't even know if you call it a resurgence of finally showing up.
Hey, good point.
You're going to go. You're going to see if this dude is healthy. I got them as a top 4, top 5 team in the West. If he's healthy,
okay,
he's giving you 25, 30 points a night. Man, he's ball there. He's that lethal. He's just as effective as what they think Wemby will be. He's already shown that he can do that. Ja, I definitely believe if he's got his game plan tight, he's gonna be good. I got a theory. I think they didn't gave this boy some PR. They didn't gave this dude some security. They're like, yo, you fucked up a little bit.
We got you.
Bruh, shut up. I don't want your name in the news. Think about it. You ain't heard not one thing about Ja since
they invested in him. I mean, you have $1 million. Nike put
Nike,
the whole stock into him, right?
Like, yo, don't be in this news. So I think he'll be tight again. Ben, I think he's settling into his original, like his natural state. He's not a scorer. This dude is averaging past 4 games, 10 boards a game. 10 boards a game on average. Assists 3 to 5. He's that guy, good defense. I'm not gonna front. He ain't gonna give you 30 points. He ain't gonna be that dude.
And that's not his thing, right?
It's not. But I think he's settling into this is who my natural state is.
I just think the man's back stopped hurting. That's what's all whatever it is. He's been that guy. I mean, ain't nothing changed. His back was just hurting. Now his back's not hurting. So he's been that dude.
Yeah.
Most improved player of the year this year. Ben Simmons.
So we got that on a couple of episodes.
Is it most improved or is it comeback? Which one is it?
Not comeback.
It's not comeback in NBA.
Comeback. It might be like
it's comeback, right?
Yeah.
Whatever the award is, that yeah. Go ahead and what you say, EJ?
Guarantee.
Sign
Him,
his name on
him
that. Man.
or I think the other person that might that
Is
could get
the Chet, right?
no, the Claw.
Most
Oh,
improved?
Bruce?
No,
Nah,
no, come back.
or whatever we're calling it. Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
don't see.
Think about it.
Yeah,
When the last time you seen Kawhi Leonard play? Don't worry, I'll wait.
Well, I mean, I'm really interested in the California AAU squad or LA AAU, whatever they want to call themselves, with Russ and James Harden and Kawhi and Paul George. That's going to be interesting team.
well, as long as I've seen the sport, you know what I'm saying, and I know they're always making changes, but there's only one basketball that they play
Correct.
with in the game. So,
Yep.
This is going to be interesting, man. With Vollmer out there excited and pumped for no goddamn reason.
He got potentially 4 Hall of Famers on that squad.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially 4 Hall of Famers on that team, and he's shelling out all that dough. He ain't playing around with James Harden. He bruh, get your act in order. Be here, healthy. Don't start no bullshit because he don't play.
Okay, so what kind of offense you think they're running, man? You did MH. I mean, brothers coach and stuff like that. So you've been in and around the game too. What kind of offense do you think they're gonna run? Like they can't run ISO ball all game, man.
And that's why I don't think he's gonna be as effective because they're not gonna run that ISO ball. They're gonna move the ball. They're gonna push that ball up and down the court. They're gonna play a stretch offense, bruh. James Harden don't play like that. I'll take Russell Westbrook over James Harden all day if you're gonna decide which one gonna give me some burn.
Particularly with Paul George
in the West, especially in the West.
Leonard.
Yeah. You talk about they got to face the Rockets, they got to face OKC, the Warriors, the Grizzlies. Bro, them boys run. He's seeing that on a daily basis. This ain't the Eastern Conference. You talking about them boys move. Good luck, Harden.
I feel like in a way this will help them. We touched on early in the regular season. Kawhi Leonard's not going to play all 82 games, whether there's a rule or not. Neither is Paul George. Right. Russell Westbrook may. James Harden will have his fat suit on for at least 2 weeks out of the season, so he's not going to play all 82. But I guess the collection of all of them, and you get 2 to 3 of them a night, I think you can kind of figure it out and win some games over most teams in the NBA just off a talent thing. And then they didn't lose like a Terrence Mann. They didn't lose a couple other players on their team that are quality. So I think they have enough to be really good.
Games. You need 60 games with Kawhi and PG.
I agree.
In order to be
both of them are just
both of them. They need to play at least 50.
They'll do some math together.
Yep. Whatever combo you put around them with Russ and Harden. Other than that, man, I don't. If those two ain't there, chalk it.
I mean, they all in their hometown, so maybe I don't know if that's a good or positive thing or a negative thing. I really don't, but they all from kind of that area.
Yep.
I think Russ and James Harden, they said they went to the same Boys and Girls Club. They know Paul George, that was across the street, and Kawhi was, what I mean? So they all kind of know each other's families and all that type of stuff. So maybe off the court chemistry helps on the court.
Bro, look at the energy in the locker room in Milwaukee. Just look at Milwaukee when Damian Lillard walks in there. Look at the energy with the New York Jets when Aaron Rodgers walk in the locker room. Now look at the energy when fucking James Harden walk in there. Even his own peers are like,
Terrence Mann.
We'll see.
Shout out to Terrence Mann. Terrence Mann was not happy about that.
He wasn't. Yeah. And I think Lou is smart enough to be able to navigate that stuff. He's played around some big personalities. I coached around them.
I think that's definitely a key.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they got a new toy to play with, man. Like Vollmer's putting together this brand new facility, man. We was down in LA, and it's right down the street. Like them cranes are up. He's putting money, so he's won a winner. He's gonna get it one way or the other. So hopefully they get it together, man.
Yep.
So before I get into things, I there's been some mishaps or some just kind of some some things that was said last year, you know, during the playoff time, right? And like, I don't think, you know, since then, I don't know if we've had a live or just a lot of things going on, but I think there was like a gentleman's bet maybe between B and MH. I don't know if any of y'all remember that, or maybe I'm making something up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, all right. So I called the Cavs to put in work. I did. Oh, more so than the New York Knicks. That shit didn't pan out. I'm worried about I'll be honest, man. I'm worried about Cleveland. And I got to give credit to New York more than what I was. That combo with Brunson is and RJ Barrett and Randall and man,
Yeah, we can go on. We can add a couple more players on there if you want.
Bro, I'm not saying I think they're going to go to the finals, the Eastern Conference Finals, but they're better. They're sneaky good, much better than a lot of other teams. I put them in that second tier for sure behind Milwaukee and Boston.
All right, so let me interject here. Because not only did they beat them 4-1. It was a nice gentleman's sweep. To the point where Donovan Mitchell was wishing that he was on the other team. I know he wants to be in New York. We making something work for you, brother. And maybe we'll get you there. But yeah, it was a beatdown. And
we ain't seen B since then.
we haven't. And then the Cavaliers, they circled the matchup this year too. This year.
Yeah.
And they had to pass the sticks. They was up by 20. So they had
I owe this man a bottle. It's cool. I got you on all the details. I'm good with it. Yeah.
and then something about the Knicks. Here's my thing. You're right. The Knicks are not Boston. They're not the Milwaukee Bucks. But eventually, somebody's we're gonna stop getting disrespected. And I say we're gonna stop getting disrespected by just being second tier or sneaky good. No, we are that. We are that good. We got a top point guard. We here. Julius Randle's a 2-time All-Star. RJ Barrett is still. He's starting to figure out his game. We have some
Julius LeBron
pickups.
Randle.
LeBron. We had some good key pickups in the offseason. We got the best guard play in the league, and I'm talking about collection of guards when it comes from Quickly to Brunson to DiVincenzo to Josh Hart. We not even got to Deuce McBride, who's a top defender if he got some tick. We can go on and on about the Knicks. I'm not going to turn this into a Knicks show, but eventually people are going to give them the respect, and they're not going to be a sneaky team. They're not going to be second tier. They're going to just be them, and that's
where you think they land this year. Where do you think they land coming into the playoffs?
Number 2 seed. They'll be the number 2 seed. They'll be in the Eastern Conference, and I'll give you a couple of reasons why. They're going to play hard team. They are a play hard team. They got a play hard coach, and they have a play hard team. We just talked about half the time in the regular season, you just got to play hard. They got guys that are not going to sit out if they're not, hurt. Okay. Guys, everybody on their team, they top 8 to 9 players are going to play 78 to 82 games. So they're going to win more than not just by playing hard. They shoot the 3 really good. They got better with that because Dante DiVincenzo, and they play defense. They're going to get easy points in transition in the regular season. We all know that happens. Now in the playoffs, all bets is off. But in the regular season, they're going to be a top 2 team.
You said number 2, right? You said number 2, right?
2.
Milwaukee,
Boston would be number 1 because they got a lot with Porzingis. They got a really good team. Milwaukee, Dame and Giannis, I think they're really deadly. But I think those two are going to play each other in the second round. Somehow it's not going to work that they're going to play Eastern Conference. It's going to be maybe it's going to be the Knicks, and somehow they're going to eliminate themselves and kind of cannibalize themselves, and the Knicks will be in that guy. Will be that team. So, I expect to see them in the Eastern Conference Finals. We haven't even got to some of the trades that's available for us essentially.
So you definitely got them deep in the Eastern Bloc for the in-season tournament. Then,
no, we're not worried about that banner. We focus on the different banner.
Okay, all right.
They did the Knicks bad in that. I forgot the pools, and maybe we could pull them up during the show. But I I know they're in the same pool as Milwaukee, and,
Yep.
and they play Milwaukee, I think, Friday, and that's game 1 of whatever.
That's the starting off.
Yep.
East season tournament. Friday, what's the day? I'm sorry. I'm just saying Friday. We don't know when everybody's taping. I think November 3rd is the day.
November 3rd is the start. They got in that group, they got Milwaukee Bucks, New York Knicks, Miami Heat, Washington Wizards, and Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah, they try to load it up a little bit on us, but it's all good.
Yeah.
They will emerge out of that group.
So you have a better you win the season series between Knicks and Bucks. Knicks will win that series. Regular season, just a regular season play. Because you said number 2. That means
here's the reason why I believe that.
Okay.
Nobody can guard Giannis. We good on that.
Okay.
Nobody really can guard Dame.
Okay.
But where the Bucks have shifted, Dame can't guard Jalen Brunson either. So our best player is going to go off against the Knicks, right? So we'll cancel out best player for best player. We'll go number 2. Damian Lillard is better than Julius Randle, hands down, right?
Okay.
But him shooting threes and stuff, that just plays into our game. It's not going to just beat us up. That's just a game that we play. We shoot threes. We get out in transition. So I think the Bucks are slightly worse on defense. They got a better ceiling on offense, which will come in handy in the playoffs. But again, this is just a regular season. This is who's going to play harder any given night. I don't know what's wrong with Chris Middleton. The disrespect that everybody have for Ben Simmons, you better put it on Chris Middleton because I don't know if he can make it. And so I don't think they're as strong in the regular season. I think when the postseason comes, it's different. They got time to prepare and, focus on one team, and that might be a different version of the Bucks. But during the regular season, yeah, the Knicks are just going to play harder.
Okay.
And thank you to coming through MH's Knicks TED Talk.
For real. Man, this dude's wearing the banner. He got the whole shindig.
So, I mean, that pretty much covers the Eastern Conference. Like, so who's your pick for the Eastern Conference? Because we know where MH stands for. And I mean, any kind of love for emo, whatever you call it, Jimmy Buckets, man. Like, no one gives. He's like nothing.
Nah, man. Like, they didn't get any better this offseason. And both
there's still time for trades, though. Like, they could come in and see what they got. No,
there's not the caliber of players available.
Well, yeah, because they were going for the Dame, right? Like, that's what they were shooting for. I mean, a lot of teams, and they were one of those teams that was in that.
I actually sat here and wondered if that was a big ass head fake. I actually wonder. I don't have no evidence to prove it, but man, it was like, hey, focus here, focus here, focus here, and then as soon as it went the other direction, he was like, man, I've been waiting to come here. Like,
really?
Yeah, he was like, yeah, I love being here. It's what I want to do. I mean, I know some of that is leaning
what you say after you sign that motherfucker contract.
But man, it feels like they were like all on board with it. Like it wasn't the first time they talked, that's for sure. But no, Miami didn't get any better. I don't think they're gonna have a tough battle. They could be 4, 5.
So then who you got for the East then?
Milwaukee, Boston.
Go ahead. Yeah, right on.
The Cavs, the best.
Appreciate it.
New York, Cavs, Miami, and then 76ers. I have no clue what's going to happen with Atlanta. I think I'm just not sure about Trey in Atlanta anymore. I'm just not. I think he's going to have some tough games, some big games, but.
And I still think they want to move off of him too. You know what I mean? Like,
I do too.
And see if they just shake it up again.
Yep.
All right. So now let's head over to the West.
Yep.
Anywhere, MH, you want to start with the West, or B, what you guys got with the West?
Go ahead, B.
All right. In the West, so I got 2 teams that I have like on my bubble. One is New Orleans is a big one that I think can be sneaky good, slide up in there. And the other one,
the resurgence of Zion, right? Like, you're just thinking what they're building around there, because they had a strong nucleus too with what's his name?
That's correct.
Ingram, yeah.
Ingram and CJ McCollum with his leadership. Yeah, and he got respect around the league and in our locker room. They can be tight.
And hopefully him and Zion are cool now, because it was a little rough when he joined, said homie didn't pick up the phone and talk to him. So hopefully they can kind of build that.
Yep.
I mean,
On court locker rooms, yeah.
we only FaceTime, dog.
That's it. All right, so continue, B. What you got?
Yeah. So, and then the other team is Sacramento. I think they can pick up again.
Mr. International would love to hear that part.
Man, they've
Who
Mike
did they
Brown
just was it this weekend they pulled off a nice little dub? Or
Yeah.
did yeah, right.
I'm like, they could do some things, but it's top heavy. So for me, on the West, I got Denver. You got it. You got to give it.
Another one that makes his favorites.
Yeah. I got Phoenix.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I think if they rolling, they hot. Golden State for sure.
CP3 finally wins the title.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. I don't think they got enough firepower for what's going to come at them with Denver or with Phoenix. And then, of course, the unknowns that I have is LA and the Clippers, both LA teams.
Okay.
Because both of those teams are all dependent upon health.
I mean, most of the season is, right? Like,
but them specifically, like if they right, you have street clothes go down with like a knee buckle and you won't see them for the next 3 weeks.
For sure. MH, where you at with that? Where see some adjustment?
Yeah, so B, I like the categories you said. We said what like real contenders, teams on the bubble, and like our sneaky teams, kind of bubble teams, and then like the last one question
unknowns. Yeah, like our unknowns.
Okay, so I'll start with the contenders, the defending champs, the Denver Nuggets. Best team in the league, got the best player in the league. Right now they have a 14-point advantage over, point differential over the teams they played. They the real deal. They varsity right now in the NBA. They varsity.
Yeah.
So we'll go with number one with them. I think another contender I would probably say, I'm with you on the Pelicans. I'm always worried about their health, but I think they got a lot of different versatility that they can go to with their lineups, and they got a patch player that is a basketball player in Zion Williams that nobody really wants to play in the regular season if he's feeling good about himself. Teams that are on the bubble, for me, there's two teams. OKC Thunder.
Okay.
I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I think he'll be an MVP candidate.
Yep.
For sure this year. Their young players are a year older, and then we'll see how Chet Holmgren is, because he was a top player that didn't play last year, but he got the NBA, kind of experience last year. So I think he could be a contributor kind of right away. So OKC is a team that I'm kind of on the bubble with. The other team that I'm on the bubble with, that is kind of on the up and coming. I like what you said with the Kings. I don't know, but I would probably go with the Clippers. I don't know if they're up and coming, but to your point, they're a team that
we just ain't seen them. We ain't seen them play. They just never play together.
Yeah, depending on how this all mixes, I'm interested to see. They could be really good, or it could be really interesting. So I think they're a team that's like on the bubble. Teams that may surprise.
Okay.
Minnesota Timberwolves are number one for me on that.
Okay.
I know the Twin Towers thing doesn't work, but I think if they're one move away, if one of those dudes, and it's probably be Karl Anthony Towns, get traded for something else, I think you can really see a step from Anthony Edwards. He was the guy with the world team this year.
He was balling. Whew.
His new shoe is cold. That matters. That man's new signature shoe is cold.
Yep.
I think he's on the up and coming. And I don't really know about this team. They're 0-3 right now. No, I'm sorry. They're 3-0 right now. It's the Dallas Mavericks.
Okay.
Luka is Luka, obviously. And Kyrie Irving is that whatever is going on, but he's the real deal. But any given night, those dudes can have 40 points apiece or 40 points or whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
Jason Kidd is weird enough. It's the same Jason Kidd that said run into me, knocked over a cup to get an extra timeout. So like he's not above just pulling some random strings. And then they got that dude from Duke, Lively, is their big man that has like a little Tyson Chandler kind of feel to him where he's just doing all the dirty stuff for them. So they're a team that right now they're number 2 in the West, but they're kind of like we don't know about them. But I think at the end they could really surprise some teams. So that's my Western Conference.
Okay.
I like it.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. I definitely feel on KC, the other up and coming team. I don't think they'll be that playoff ready, but it's going to be the Rockets as well.
Yeah. I was really thinking about them because I really liked one of the twins, Amin Thompson.
The ones from from Overtime Elite.
Exactly. I really like them.
Scoots down there from G League here.
No, Scoot is in Portland.
Scoot's in Portland.
Portland. No, he went to Portland. My bad. Yeah.
But other boy, Jalen Green. Seems like they eliminated some of the.
Yep, because he was from from the G League as well.
He was from the G. Yeah, that's my G League's messed up. Yes.
Yep.
So I mean, what's he, a year 3 now? So you kind of figure out what you're doing in the NBA like around year 3.
Yep.
So I'm with you on that. I think they can be really good.
Yep. That's right.
I like him. All right. So my favorite part of the sport is the business side, man. Let's jump into a couple of business topics, man. I mean, before we jump in there, man, we were talking about Coach. Why did I just drop what were we talking about in the pre-show?
Which coach?
Oh, come on, don't. So y'all forgot too. All right, I'll remember and I'll bring it back, man. So y'all supposed to help me out and shit, man. I've been drinking anyway. So we'll jump back. We'll jump back. Knight. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
See, look at that.
I mean, I was thinking Tyronn Lue. I was like, I know we weren't talking about Coach.
Yeah.
We're talking about Coach.
No, I respect. The reason I say that, man, I respect what he's accomplished. I've never been a fan of him. Even when I was a kid.
Really?
I respect that he had his way of doing it. My favorite point guard, hands down, my favorite point guard of all time is Zeke, hands down. It's not Magic. It's Zeke. I think he's one of the best point guards. He came from there. I get it. I didn't like his style. I didn't like his style of play. I didn't think he created openness for his players to go out and shine. And he carried this my way or the highway.
That was a former coach, right? At that period, right? And I mean, there's some people that still do that in a different, because we're now have to be sensitive, like maybe oversensitive, and maybe he pushed the line to the total opposite.
He was a little too far. Like he was like, man, come on, dude. Like, yeah. But I respect it. I respect what he accomplished. I think it's a big loss for the basketball community. But he couldn't coach. A young him couldn't even coach today.
Oh, it's too much. Yeah. Like that style is not even tolerated, for universities and things like that.
Yeah.
Like, those things went on a little longer because of the historic and what he did, right? Like sometimes there's leeway for people in certain situations. So yeah, just wanted to put that little thing because we didn't mention it. But okay, back to the business. All right.
Shout out Coach Knight.
Yep.
Shout out.
I'm a Coach Knight fan.
There it is.
Okay.
And like I said, a big part of basketball, especially kind of in that era. So, all right. So the business side, I guess I'll start with one of the things that you mentioned in your opening, B, not having a team. So every few weeks or so, right, there's always something about these expansion teams coming, right? Whether it's, the commission getting asked something at the podium, whether LeBron says, I want to own the team. And then out of nowhere, Shaq's like, no, I want to own the team in Vegas, right? Yeah. And, talking about, the bid for Pitt. So hopefully, that comes to fruition. What's the timeline? Is that going to be like around the new CBA that they're going to do that? Or now that the CBA is done, they can push that forward? Because, like, what's holding them back from announcing it to say, hey, next season, we're going to announce the teams and kind of start from there?
I think a big part of it is, I think hands down, they definitely want to be in Las Vegas for sure. Like,
And Seattle's definitely another one, right? Like
yeah,
those would be
Seattle's
the
definitely
two.
another one. But if the leagues had to pick, I think every league is like, we want to get our ass to Las Vegas, the heart and center of sports betting, entertainment, a
Sports
destination.
capital of the world. You can say, go ahead.
Yeah, that's it. Sports capital of the world. And but I think there's some other consideration when you think about bringing in one team. You have to think about that second team expansion, or how are we going to balance our schedule? Can the league support another market? Because the league puts a lot into these markets. The league is funding the G League Ignite in Las Vegas, so they're paying for that experiment already. In-season tournament, it's not by accident that that's landing in Las Vegas on December 7th and 9th. So I think the league is still concerned with the economics around that team. They're still playing catch up from the pandemic. And then the ownership battles. The ownership plays a big role in these decisions because they are, I don't want to say skeptical. They're very regimented about letting other owners into that community. Who is it? What happens to our money if we start to bring in another one or two teams? I think that plays a role as well. So, and there's been some shakeup with this ownership group here over the last 3 years. I mean, you've got Michael Jordan. You've got what's going on with Phoenix, and Minnesota as well. So you have some changes there. So I think that's playing a role, and you definitely want to center it around what's going to happen with the new CBA because that's a big portion of the money that's going to come into the league.
And when's the new CBA?
24-25.
So that's why I think that's when everything was like that. Either conversations or decisions in that are going to really set and get the ball rolling. Once that's locked down, or if they can negotiate it early, I think that's when you get the final decision. And I think then it'll be all, full steam ahead.
And again, so I definitely think it'll be after 25 by the time you actually see some play. Get a stadium built, get that in place. You see what they're doing with MLB.
Stadium's being built right now, so that's not going to take. It's just going to who they award it to, right? Yeah. So there is a stadium that they can play in currently.
Correct.
T-Mobile is built.
One team, but I mean, when you think about balance of that other team, if you go to Seattle, for example,
they played in that old
arena. They can't go back to the arena like that. You might as well go to my high school gym. Might as well go to St. V. Let's go play at St. V.
Right.
Where does the Kraken play? The Seattle Kraken. Do they play in the Key, or are they play in a different arena?
I thought they had a. That's a great question.
I think they have an arena.
Let's data analyst. Y'all look that up. Oh, we got to hire one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. That's one sport I got to get my game up on.
But I mean, money moves all that stuff. There's probably, because we're closer here and everybody, like, this is the cool spot to talk about. Money moves all of that stuff, right? And I think MH has a great point. Like, they could play in the Kraken's facility if they have one, and if the Kraken's not playing in one, I'm pretty sure one is getting built for those multi-sports to be in.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I guess they play in the Climate Pledge Arena, which, as we know, probably has been redeveloped and renamed from Key Arena. So they play in Key Arena.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. That's an old arena.
Yeah. At this point, they'd just be happy to have the team back, right? And then they can figure out the rest of it.
I will say, I think there's a couple things, and B, you touched on all the big points, especially this new CBA and how that TV money comes in and how they kind of divide it in the ownership room, and we already know how that works and who they let in the club and who they don't let in the club. I think another part of it, obviously, is we talked about the player apron and what the charges are to teams and what contracts are. You can only have that. One thing about the Golden Knights that was really interesting, that to me, I don't think it's talked about enough, is the rules around them when they were the expansion team. How you could only, I think at the time, and I don't know the numbers of hockey, but you can only basically protect 5 players at the time.
Yeah.
And so the Golden Knights were getting real guys. And for every team, it could have been hey, I want my goalie and maybe 2 forwards and then I like these young guys. So the other guys who are real guys, the Golden Knights is picking from all of them.
Yep.
So I say that with the NBA when it comes to like the apron and
Yep.
what teams are getting taxed and all that. Like, I wonder what the protection rules would be for that expansion team, which would be, and it definitely would be expansion. I think we can all agree it won't be a relocation of the Timberwolves or whoever they will relocate. It's definitely going to be an expansion team. And they always talk about balancing out. They don't want these super teams. They're cool with duos now, but they're trying to do things around contracts to kind of even the playing field out. We've already talked about it previously on the show when it talks about like rookie contracts versus minimums versus a max contract and how those things balance out. And I think expansion teams kind of balance that out a little bit because there's more teams to go to and there's more eating at the pie. And I'm really interested to see how they kind of do that and how the expansion teams kind of rectify the second apron and all those taxes and all that kind of stuff in a way.
I'm with you. And I definitely see them doing something similar that they're doing with the PPP or the player participation policy. I could see them. It's not about securing how many total players on the squad. I think they might split this up based on salary and say in these salary ranges, here's what you can or cannot protect. Where it might support 2 superstars on your squad, but it may not support 3 or a 4 or a squad like LA with the Clippers. You know,
correct.
Somebody might have to be available given that, because you can always find, most of these teams would be happy to give up 5 people on the bottom half of their bench for sure. But they don't want to give up that top heavy Phoenix Suns squad that they have. They're like, yo, you can't have Book and KD
and Bradley Bill.
Yeah.
You can protect 2 of them.
Yeah,
and
right.
then we're gonna award Vegas and Seattle with the number 1 pick too. So can you imagine, like, for instance, a Wemby in this case being the number 1 pick for a Vegas team, and to your point, Bradley Bill, like, right?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you got a new squad.
No, that's a real team now, and you can build some stuff around it. So I'm really interested in that.
So that could also play into some of the considerations why they don't pull triggers on this new team yet, because who you pick impacts your TV rights deal. Like, Phoenix can sell out all their games, and Phoenix is one of the markets that is looking to broadcast their own games in the local market, because Bally Sports has gone bankrupt. Actually, Diamond, which owns Bally Sports, has gone bankrupt. So the league is trying to take back some of those contracts in those local markets. Phoenix said, we want it because we want to we want to own our viewership, and they'll get dollars. You take KD and Book out of that lineup, nobody's watching those games. They just had Messi. He got hurt with Miami. And boom, nobody watched those. They had their opponents around the league had to give tickets back. They put in a program to give tickets back plus $250 because they knew people were just coming to see him. Like, the NBA doesn't want that to happen, and the owners don't either.
Absolutely. So, in other news, when we talk about scripts and marketing and, plays, right? So Taylor Swift is all in the football news, right? Yep. So now we got Kim Kardashian all in the basketball news, right? So Kim Kardashian, if you haven't seen it, what's so funny is I was in LA and my homeboy texted me to like, yo, did you see Skims is on the court for the fucking I was like, what? And then, you see it all this weekend. And then, I want to say yesterday, a couple of days ago, they did the official announcement.
Yeah.
Where, the commission was shaking hands and welcome her as an official partner. I didn't know Skims was doing that type of court money, man. That's all I want to say, man.
Woo. Man, they are bringing the play, I think, getting women more involved in the sport, very similar to when you saw, remember Jordan's, I think it was Jordan's last year or last couple years, they did all the jerseys were dresses.
The jersey dresses.
Yeah, all that shit was blowing up.
God forgive me, wife forgive me, but Mariah Carey, yeah.
my man. Yeah, so I think
in that DJ Clue Jay-Z video, man, in the Carolina. Oh my gosh, on the beat. Anyway,
that's right.
That's a whole nother. Maya, I love you.
Because I don't see no players rocking that. I'd be honest. Like, I don't see no players.
But see, that's the thing, right? So you don't know, first of all, as many players as be in the Kim's draws in the Kardashians. Oh, no. Okay. All right. So that was no. All right. Anyway.
Damn.
They don't just make female stuff, right? I mean, that's what you think, right. but they make males wear as well, right? So if there's an official partnership, you don't know what was all in that. Yeah, we see the court logo, but partnerships run deeper than that, right? So a corporate partnership could be, being able to use the team logos. It could be some other rights. It could be like they're like the official. And so instead of wearing MH, you remember the grays we used to get right? Like you get your team issued grays, right? Whether it's by Nike, by whatever. So if this is the official, she could be producing all of those, the thighs, the tights that they're wearing. All the tights could be produced by Skim right now. She could have won that contract to where all of the dudes in the NBA are wearing those Skims. And then it showed on what's my favorite, the award-winning show with Barkley and them inside
the NBA.
Inside the NBA.
Yeah.
They did a big promotion to them. Like she gifted all of them, and they were, they were playing with the draws.
Those, and it was not a good look. I was like, yeah,
there's being fun. That's their show. That's their platform, being a little cheeky, pun intended. But they were showing the briefs, but they also showed the boxers. And then what people forget is Kim won the award for this past Olympics, where she was the official
with the Paralympics and the Tokyo
Paralympics and the whatever was it Tokyo, whatever the last Olympics was. She had won that bid to where all the athletes wore her stuff. So she's making moves, and then it's going to turn around to where, like, is it compression tees and the shorts and so, you don't know whatever, because like and now I'm going to probably go to the site and see what all they make. But if she's doing a court sponsorship, it has to come with a little more than just her logo on the court.
That's right. That's fair. And to your point, it could skyrocket when she gets a big name to be the key spokesperson for it. There's been one brand that has taken draws and making them big without ever being seen in the draws. And that was Jordan.
Yep.
Hanes. Yep.
Hanes.
That was his name. You never saw him in draws, but you was like, okay.
Jordan wears Hanes. Let's go. Let me get them.
I mean, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he already has a couple assets out there in Skims right now, and we just talked about him. But obviously, he's not the name right now, but he could really turn some heads this year. So,
and then, like you said, in that market, he's probably, there's more focus on knowing that in that market, because I'm sure there's billboards or stuff that he's like, that comes up in conversation. Go ahead, Mage.
Yeah, I mean, whenever they get that logo lock up with the Knicks, I'm gonna have me a 6-pack of Skims. I mean, no shame. When they get that logo lock up, go ahead and get me some of that.
I can't unsee this, like, bro.
Go ahead and get that logo lock up.
Come on, man.
Speaking of Skims, and then I'm taking us way off topic here, but
let's go. I've been waiting.
Kim K needs to write a book about business, and I don't want to say finessing, because that's disrespect. The way she took a picture, she was shaking the commissioner's hand sideways, but she looking directly at the camera like, yeah, I am him. Yep, I'm ready to write that book. But her co-author, who else needs to write a book?
Okay.
Larson Pippen. Larson Pippen needs to write that book.
Oh.
But like Larson Pippen's book is more like Jada Pickett's book, right? Like, or do you think it's
Larson? If she write this down,
he got to get close. He got close to the camera.
There's a lot of pillow talking in that one. There's a lot of pillow talking details coming out of that. So he might know more than
we're talking about
last
development.
Interview she did they did an ESPN joint. The last one she did, Jordan's son was doing a lot of talk. She was just kind of sitting back there like,
but hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, she done played the long game.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's probably like, she probably saw recruiting 1997 Jordan hitting game 1 against the Jazz. She's probably like, yeah, I can't get to Jordan right now, but we're gonna wait down the line here and we get there. If her name at the end of all this is Larsa Jordan / Pippen, if she hyphenate that joint and she got Jordan and Pippen, boy, she need to write a book. And I'll listen to the Audible. I'll get the hard copy too. That's business. That's a businesswoman.
Because so the piece I saw on social was like them two talking. I think they were talking to two. I can't remember his name, but someone from ESPN. They was doing a little podcast. Pablo Torre, and he was just hitting him, and Jordan Sun was talking about, I want my dad to be my best man, be in the wedding, that best man. I want him there. And we're still talking like we're probably gonna have a couple weddings. One will be private because the Jordan family, the Jordan name is private. But I was on the Real Housewives of Miami, so they're talking about check. That's another check. Yo, you want to film this marriage? Yeah, that's a check and a half, right? So, and she was just sitting back there, just kind of nodding her head. And then the illest shit I saw at the bottom was like Jordan helping another Pippen get a ring. And that was shading, funny as fuck.
The power move here is because usually it goes like, your current last name hyphenated into like, your new last name too. It's not like, so it would be Pippen Jordan, but the real boss moves is you can't nobody ever says Pippen and Jordan. They say Jordan and Pippen. So if she go ahead and reverse that, oh God. If she goes Larsa Jordan Pippen,
Jordan Pippen.
I mean, that's so messy. Messy. So messy, man. Jordan, I put that all on Jordan, bro. Like you,
who? What's Jordan? Marcus?
No, the daddy.
Michael?
What we gotta do with it?
Absolutely, bro. Like that's your son, man. You shut that shit down, like, bro. Nah. This was your son.
You don't believe in love, man? Come on, B.
Yeah, he's a grown man. This son make his own decisions.
You bring that all these women out, like, nah, bro. You take that someplace else, get it out of all of this that I had over here. Like, nah.
Put a sock in the Joffrey. The boy is in love.
Until he's not.
Funny.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, hey, it's a good start to the season, man. Lots going on, man. So it's going to be fun to watch this and see how things go, right? What is the midpoint? So, in football, they say like around Thanksgiving is that like midpoint where you see like teams shaking on. What's the midpoint? Is it All-Star break, which is their natural break anyway? Is that like where you kind of see the turn coming out of All-Star break?
You see after All-Star break, you definitely see it. But the posturing really happens before because you're getting ready for if you're going to make any moves to strengthen your team down the stretch. I think the trade deadline is like right before, I believe. So that last 2-3 weeks leading up to the trade deadline is a big deal. That's when you saw KD get moved and others, Kyrie. Yeah, that's.
And you think the midseason tournament changes that at all?
I do.
Yeah.
I don't. I don't have a strong opinion about it because of the vets. I don't think the season tournament impacts the vets. They're not making different decisions about their playing style based on that. Like,
isn't that the whole reason for this though? Right. So you're seeing them and they're supposed to be motivated, playing more, going into this.
Supposed to be, and I think it will for most of the players. But your super vets, the guys that have been in the league, like the CP3s, the LeBron James of the world, like they're like, bro, my only objective is playoffs. I'm not changing shit in my strategy.
I think LeBron likes to just win though, right? Like if he can get that and be the first one to win it, like I think he would go all out. Like I think he's agent orange or agent number 1 for the league, right? Like I think he holds
playing season.
Yeah.
Heck no, he ain't risking shit in the early half of the season. If he's because the last 2 seasons he had that injury that came in like December. You didn't see him again until.
I mean, to EJ's point, what else he got to play for? I mean, he like all-time leading scorer. He got championships.
A championship. He only won a championship.
He ain't gonna win that.
You don't give a shit about that no more.
Yeah, like he might be trying to be like, he the oldest dude in the world to win an MVP. He knows some difference.
Correct. He holding out to play for his son, who's going to be here in Vegas soon.
And so, to my point,
so his thing would be if he's in the running for the end, he'll go all out for it. He's going to win. Yeah, I think he's an agent for the NBA. Like anything to help Stern to make this successful, he'll do. Because he's like, Stern, remember I helped you with that. When they do them voting for that team, I'm going to want that. You know what I mean? Like he's on a something. He's on something
Yeah,
different, man.
He ain't got nothing to prove. He, to your point, he gonna do whatever is good for the NBA. I think it's good for the NBA because like Christmas Day used to be that like, hey, it's Christmas. All our elite games are on this time.
Matchups here, yeah.
Matchups here, and then and then like to the casual fan, I think we all watch basketball, but to the casual fan, they don't know about basketball until about Christmas time. And I think the in-season tournament, maybe it helps it out because you want to see stuff in Vegas and. You said they've already done some, advertisements for it. So, maybe this is a way to get viewers earlier for them.
Because NFL been stepping on them toes, boy. NFL been stepping on them toes on them days that just used to be NBA.
NFL don't care, dog. we playing games on Christmas, Thanksgiving too.
All of that.
Didn't we do Halloween? No, they didn't do Halloween this year. But you lucky we didn't do that. Job. Is the NBA streaming stuff? Like, do they got like the Amazons or whatever thing like that? Or
no, they don't. But that's what's so the new TV deal is introducing 3 new players. You already had ESPN with Disney, and they're trying to decrease their games. You got TNT. They're still going.
And TNT's talking about dropping the whole.
That's correct. They were considering dropping it altogether.
I didn't think they would do it anyway.
I think they'll end up bidding because their audience is so big. That's basketball. That's the best sports show. Forget basketball. That's one of the best sports shows on TV. Mm-hmm. But the other 3 players, Google, Amazon, and Apple. And then Netflix just announced that they're going to be putting in a bid.
They need to do something. Because stop.
And all those players, they're like, we're not tied to linear TV, cable television. We stream and cut up highlights, and we know how to reach our audiences. We do YouTube. We know how to do that.
Yeah, I mean, NBA is a young man's kind of game. It's the young people's game.
That's right. That's right.
Young people are on those streaming platforms,
and it's bigger than the NFL from internationally. So their audience is so huge.
Wow.
Like the NFL is bigger in the States, but NBA smashes the NFL. When you think about their global audiences.
Hold on, I'm gonna go with Smash now. But
hold on now. Yeah. The NFL making some things.
But they still don't.
That flag football move is a big thing, but
that's huge for them.
Yeah, I don't disagree, but it's still not even close to number 3 sport in the world.
Yeah, you got Wemby, you got like a Luka, you got you got Jokic. Like all them dudes are not from United States. They're global. Like, Giannis, don't let me disrespect.
So then to get out of here, all right. The MVP has not been from the States in a while. So who do we have as your front runner kind of like going into? I know we're fresh in the season's too early, but just kind of like, based on early predictions of who's, front runners, who do you guys got for your early MVPs? And there's no wrong answer here as well, right?
I think you still got the Joker. I could see Giannis being up there. I think his play is going to increase based on the freedom he gets now with Dame being there. And I think you want to see some of these one of these young boys. Like I did like your SGA. I did. I like that.
So it's still looking like it's an international front running for the NBA for a while.
Yeah.
All right.
Jason Tatum. I don't want to forget about Jason Tatum. He's going to be the best player on the best team because the Celtics going to be that. I could see him winning that. And then you mentioned Jokic. He the new Larry Bird, so he might get another one.
There it is.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Well, let's wrap it up. Get out of here, man. In this case, man, I'm going to give you guys both final thoughts, man. B, any final thoughts, man? Anything? Open floor?
Man, we're about to see we're going to see some exciting ball this year. This playing tournament is going to change the game for like who you can watch on a regular night. And I think you're going to create totally new fans in the NBA this year. Total new fan. So I'm on board. I'm with it. I'm looking forward to this year. I'm beyond.
Let's go. MH, final thoughts?
Love NBA season, man. I'm excited about it. There's some new excitement with Wemby playing tournament. The Vegas stuff in Seattle learning in the background. It's going to be a special NBA season. I really do believe that. So appreciate you, B, giving us your expertise on the NBA landscape. And I'm sure we'll touch at that midway point. That might be another time to, touch on, see where we're at. I want to see what new trades happen.
I owe you a bottle. I owe you a bottle, and we'll throw something on this season for Cavs Knicks. So
yeah, I mean, they were playing while we recording. I just want to make sure I saw a score before. Let me just.
You said you see.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, they down by 2. The Knicks are down by 2 with 2 minutes left.
Why you don't sound so enthusiastic all of a sudden?
Yeah, it was the tone kind of dropped on that.
Yeah, like bro.
Yeah. It's the regular season. So.
Oh, now it's just the regular season.
Nigga, I'll tell you.
It's a random night in November.
Now the season don't matter. Like,
Well, the in-season tournament doesn't start till Friday, so man, we ain't really.
Yeah, we're not really playing. I think RJ Barrett was sitting out tonight anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Was he a minutes restriction? I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
he had his Skims on. He had his Skims on the bench.
Skims a little too tight. All right. Well, hey, I hope you guys enjoyed the show, man. Thank you, Brannan from the Rubric, man. Please check his IG, man. He has all that NBA content you want, man. Deep dives, talking the business side of sports, which I really love, man, and just bringing the insight here. So we always love to kind of bring him on as 2 football heads. We love all sports, but it's good to bring someone with that kind of different perspective. So we got his IG and his handles there running on the screen, and we'll also put that in the show notes. I'm definitely looking forward to the in-season tournament. So if you're around Vegas, man, it's going to be a really, really good atmosphere. So check that out, man. It's just kind of a little bit of a preview to when we ultimately get our team. So we're excited and look forward to that. And as always, man, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We got a new show dropping every Thursday. You can subscribe to all of our podcast platforms. So anywhere you listen to podcasts, we're there. Please like and subscribe on YouTube, because we believe if you see it, you can be it. And like always, man, stay safe, practice gratitude, and know we're rooting for you.
Screaming, all us blacks got is sports and entertainment until we even.
Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Yeah. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Yo. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Spent about 2 racks on handmade new rags. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. That's everybody from sports to college class to rap and back.